Everybody, I'm going to do a quick video about what's called investor overlays for when end user buyers get loans, and the investor being the whoever the investor is in the loan of the end buyer. Let me explain what I mean by this and why this is important for you as a wholesaler. Okay, so how you make money as a real estate wholesaler is you partner with buyers, you get to know their business model, obviously, very important, and obviously solve sellers' problems, figure out why they're selling, and so forth. And connect the dots, you make money, right? You get it, right? And so part of the what you need to do is to be a professional as a real estate wholesaler, just a real estate investor in general, is really understand your buyer's business model because they're the ones driving the train. You're not going to get paid right on any deal unless you bring value to your buyer, something that your buyer is going to want to fund. Okay, so I'm speaking from a buyer's experience in as many decades. Okay, of experience here. So this is what you need to understand. So when you a buyer buys a property, I know you're maybe a wholesaler, maybe you haven't done a deal yet. You're just getting started on a few. You need to think about the risk involved. Okay, as a real estate a wholesaler, you're not really doing a lot of, you're not really risking anything except for your time. Okay, but you're not risking $300,000-400,000 or more, right? So your buyer, he's gonna, he or she is gonna, they're gonna obviously put their funds out there, and they're gonna be on the hook for this. And if they do it wrong, they potentially come to a closing with tons, thousands of dollars, tens of thousands of dollars. I've done that. It's no fun. It's not fun at all. Just because you did the math wrong, you didn't have the right situational awareness. Okay, so here's where I'm going with this. How you need to understand how your end user buyer makes money. I've done a lot of videos on this, and I'm going to keep making these because this is important to educate you as a real estate wholesaler. Your buyer, okay, he's going to do like they do in TV shows, right? He's going to put a new kitchen in there, add another bathroom, can do a garage conversion, get more square footage, whatever, add a master suite, ensuite for the master bedroom, whatever it is, okay? And he's going to sell for a profit. And how he hopes to sell for a profit, he's going to hire a good real estate agent. They're going to put it on MLS and they're going to market it. And the holy grail of most most buyers are FHA financeable loans, okay? So why I brought up the investor overlays is this: you see, when the challenges for your buyer, there's a bunch of different loan guidelines. Okay, so one of the things, and they're always changing, and so your buyer has to, hope for the best, plan for the worst. Does that make sense? Let me explain. So, for example, if you're trying to sell a property, it's an FHA loan. Okay, and these are always changing, and the regulation might at this very moment when you're watching this maybe not be this exact scenario here, but trust me, they're very similar. Let's just say your buyer gets a property into contract for $100,000, okay? And they know the house needs a lot of work. It's gutted, needs a bunch of stuff, and so they're going to put $100,000 into work of work into the house. All right, so they buy it for 100, they put 100 into it, so now they're into 200,000. You follow me? Okay, they know they can sell a house all day long for 299.9. That's a home run for them. Okay, but it's only a home run if they can get that thing sold for 299.9. Right? Here's a challenge. They're going to buy that property, and let's say it needs a bunch of work. I mean, $100,000 is a lot of work, right? It needs a whole new kitchen, new drywall, new furnace system, new roof. I mean, all the stuff, right? It's 100,000. They fork out that money. Well, here's the thing: when your buyer puts it on the MLS, okay, they're going to get a lot. They're going to find a buyer, an end user buyer, right? Fred and Betty, and they're going to get a loan with FHA loan or whatever, and that their lender, the end user buyer, Fred and Betty, for example, they're going to send their appraiser out, and they're going to appraise the property, make sure it's really 299.9 kind of thing. But what the appraiser is going to do is they're going to want to know if they find out what you bought it for, and they may demand it, or they may see it because you bought it on the buyer bought it on the MLS, whatever. They're going to say, hey, listen, there's a problem here. You're making over 100% profit on this house. Okay, you bought it for 100, you're selling for 200,000. Well, no kidding. what you're forgetting is I did 100 grand worth of rehab. They don't care about that. They just care about the numbers. You buy it for 100, you sell it for 200. That's over 100% profit. We're going to do 2 appraisals, maybe, or they may go. Depending on what the guidelines are, and some of these investor overlays I was mentioning about, whoever's funding these loans, they may say you can't sell it. The seller, right? Your flipper, okay, has to own this property for over 90 days, and then at the 91st day they can market it, okay, and then if it's a 45-day close, 45 days after the 91st day, they can actually, the end user can get a loan for it. Does that make sense? So why am I saying this to you as a wholesaler? Okay, I'm not saying this to confuse you, but I want you to understand the risk involved. So when you look, let's say you as a wholesaler, you're getting a property and you know, you've done the math. You see this house needs a whole bunch of work, but the numbers are super good at, if you could add another bathroom, you could, whatever it is, $300,000, and you as a wholesaler can get under contract for like 75,000. Oh man, I can assign this for 25,000 bucks. My buyer's gonna, he'll buy it for 100, put 100 into it. He can get, make a huge profit. Yeah, that's true. But know that because of the work involved and that the way the loans are, depending on what it could be, there could be a huge risk involved. And so your buyer might be reluctant to want to give a huge, assignment fee just because he's worried about his costs. So, again, he's got to, plan for the worst, hoping for the best, certainly, but plan for the worst. If the appraiser comes back low and says, I'm not going to allow you to fund this. I'm talking about your buyer, you as a wholesaler, your buyer. Let's say Joe the rehab. Okay, Joe the rehabber. If Joe the rehabber, he buys this assignment from you as a wholesaler, and he puts 100 grand into it, and he tries to sell it to Fred and Betty, who are getting a loan with FHA. When Fred and Betty's appraiser comes back low, he says, "Hey, I think you're making too much profit." This has happened to me many times, not many times. But it has happened, and it sucks. Hey, you're making too much money on this. I'm going to knock the price off by 20 or 30 grand. And Joe the rehabber's got no recourse except just taking up the backside and sell it, right? So how does it affect you as a wholesaler? It's simply good business to realize this is a risk your buyers is going to be taking on these kinds of projects, okay? So know that this is, if they're hesitant or whatever, they're worried about the numbers, no kidding. These are, what I'm describing to you is real. So why am I telling you this? I'm telling you this just for you to have situational awareness. And whenever you're looking at a deal like that, be sympathetic to your buyer. Maybe not be so strict on your assignment fee. Just talk with him, see what he or she's looking for, and kind of see where they're coming from, and so that you both can grow together as business partners and make a lot of money together. Okay, because again, I'm making this video to help you understand the risk involved for your buyer. Okay, and if you really can appreciate that and realize the money that you're asking to sign the contract for and have the buyer, spend their money on, yeah, that's real money. And if they do it wrong, they're in a bad spot. So I hope this helps. Yeah, I'm sorry. If you have any questions, you want maybe look at a deal, that kind of thing, let me know below, and we maybe do some joint ventures together in the future. Talk to you soon, and Godspeed. We'll see you in the next video.